Such great music and such great opportunities to feel and to know. And thank you. Yes, move that. Thank you. Yeah, nothing else to say about that except thank you. And oh my gosh, Mother, I feel you. Be glad you don't have to speak after something like that. Yeah, I get to do it. So she let go. Without a thought or a word, she let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgment. She let go of the opinions swarming around in her head. She let go of the committee of indecision. Yeah, you guys know that one.
No, we don't.
She let go of all the right reasons. Wholly, completely, without hesitation or worry, she just let go. No one is around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. No one was around. There was no effort. There was no struggle. She wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was just what it was. And it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her hair. And the sun and the moon shone forever. Breathe that in. That is my wish for you. It's the peace that comes from that kind of release, that kind of letting go. Doesn't mean you spend your life there. It means you start there. You let go. You let go of all that stuff running around in our heads, all of those things that we think matter so much. And we allow the peace that is always present within us, the peace that is in this powerful giving universe of ours that offers us so much, to simply bubble up and fill our lives. We live in a crazy world. Anybody not know that? Things are changing so fast. Things were on the news yesterday I never imagined in my life I would ever see or know. Not going into it. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. My head ran around for a while on that one. And then I let it go. I can't do anything about it yet. With all this rapid change, business isn't even done the same way. Some of you who are in business know that. You cannot do the same kind of 5-year plan and lay out a business plan and make it happen the same way we could 3 years ago or 2 years ago or in some cases even a year ago. It's just not happening. The world has changed so in the way we do things and the way we communicate. And on top of that, AI has burst onto the scene, and we aren't even yet have a clue what that's going to do to our communication, to the way we get along, to what we do with each other. Old ways, new ways, paradigm shift. That's what we're in the middle of. And what happens in a paradigm shift is that the old ways tend to get tighter and tougher and hang on more fiercely just before there's a shift. They just clamp down harder and harder. And that's what we're seeing. And you know what brings about the paradigm shift? The newness. The new person, the person who wasn't in power before, the person who shows up as a stranger or as the peripheral someone who's been on the periphery of the fullness of human power and human power structures are the ones who bring the newness. Kind of like us. Yeah. Someone said it already. You know, and yet with all of that going on, the basic truth of life, of what it is and how it works, where we live and who we are, has not changed. And I don't see this science of mind philosophy of ours as just a philosophy. I see it as cold, hard facts, experiential living. I believe it is a description, both scientific and philosophical, of the way it works. We live in a universal oneness, a universal consciousness. We all share one mind, which operates the same way. Now, that may scare you a little bit to think you share a mind with everybody in this room. It scares me a little bit. When we were doing that your reflection of me, Carol and I were like, I'm not sure about that. So, but, you know, she forgave me and I forgave her and we went on. That's what happens. You know, what is cool about it is we all share the same mind, but we only share the part of it that we individually use. That's the part you use of all of it. I haven't yet figured out how to use all of it. If I could, I might not be standing here. I'd be flying somewhere. All by myself. No plane. Just me. Yeah. See, and the core of that is that there's one power. There are not two or three or four. It is so easy looking at the world around us to think there's more than one power. There's an evil power and a good power. And, you know, we live in a world that's tried to convince us of that for a long time. And it's the assignment of what's good and what's evil that gets us in such trouble. Because it changes. You know? No, I won't say that. Okay. It changes constantly. What this does, though, we live in this universe now that sets us free to live our desires. It reflects back to us. That reading I chose because I just think it summarizes my talk. I could just read it again, but I won't. It summarizes the idea that as we put forth our intention, our desires, as we put forth what we really believe, not what we wish we believed, not what Joe over there believes or John, but what we really believe, and we get real honest about that with ourselves so we can change it if we want to, then the world continues to reflect back to us. The infinite says, you want to know what you're not telling yourself you believe? Look at what's happening in your life. Look at the surprises that show up. Oh. Yeah. You know, collectively, we have believed in war for so long and so deeply, and we have a whole huge industry dedicated to it. There's no surprise that there are always wars going on. Not that you and I necessarily believe in it or create it, but the group consciousness within which we live does. It's all one mind. And as long as we stand in that, I think it's so beautiful that this is the time that the monks are walking through the United States, not protesting anything, but just walking for peace, doing the peace walk. Beautiful. So see, we are then free to create big messes or beautiful things. I had a mentor several years ago who said, you know, Bob, you are so good at creating a mess out of the simplest thing. You can make it so complicated, it's so difficult. I don't even understand it. I don't think you do either. So what we have to do is readjust that just a little so that you create not messes, but the beautiful, powerful life that you want. And that's what we're doing. That's what this teaching is all about. That's why this community came together to begin with, I think. And maybe that's why some of you do show up every Sunday or on the Sundays that you do, and why you pursue these ideas, is to continue to refine our ability to create the joy, the beauty, and the power that we want instead of the mess. And we get all this nonsense coming in from outside, and we get caught up in our messes, and sometimes they can be really interesting and fun. Any other drama queens in the house besides me? Yeah, there we go. You know, we do that. And it's fun. But it can be just as much fun to do other things instead. We just have to get there. Yeah. And the other part that's so wonderful is we are provided with all the power we need to do those things, to bring it about, because you don't do it. All you do is create the mind for it. And then you receive all that back. You got to believe in peace even when there's war. Right? You got to believe in love even when there seems to be chaos and anything but that going on around you. I love, we say, this is a place for unconditional love. Really? I know you guys, some of you, really well. Unconditional love is hard. It means letting go, like the leaf falling from the tree. Just letting go of the resentment, letting go of the judgments, letting go of those things which no longer serve us. We can do it because it's already alive and well in us. We're already living in it. You have life, the great gift the Spirit gives to all of us. And you didn't do anything to deserve it. It is the expression of God's love for us, as us. Yeah. You know, you don't even have to coerce this great Spirit to give you the gifts of life. You weren't hanging around up there in heaven and saying, oh, please let me get born. Trying to coerce it. You don't need a go-between between you and it. You may choose to some teachers and some powerful people who've learned a lot about how to live in this world and this consciousness to learn from, but ultimately it's your consciousness that does the work. Your mind. Only your mind and your heart. It's done unto us as we believe. Not when we believe or if we believe, but as. When you're in the process of the believing is when the gifts flow to you. So if the only way you can believe is that 20 minutes a day of meditation or that 5 minutes a day of a treatment, that's what you get. But if you can find that path that allows you to take every step. I have a friend who does doorway affirmations. Every time he walks through a doorway, he affirms the good he wants, just because he passes through the door. He started that because every time he walked through the door, he forgot where he left in the room behind him. Right? You know that one too.
Doorways do that to us.
It does. It wipes your brain when you walk through. Actually, there's a real scientific reason for it. It's called trans-specific learning, and you learn something in one setting, and when you walk into another setting, you don't bring it with you. Well, so he goes through every door and affirms, I bring all the good with me, and I know more is projected in front of me. Now, whether he actually does that or not, I don't know, but he has a pretty amazing life, so I think he might. Yeah. So the other one that I like is that where your intention goes, is where your energy flows. It's where life goes to that thing to bring it into you, when you intend it. What holds us back? You know the answers to that. Our anger, our judgments, our lack of forgiveness, our resentments, our fear, our inability or unwillingness to stay in the present moment and know that this is the real life. This is not a rehearsal. I was about 40 when I figured that out. The rehearsal time was over. This is my real life. Now, here. It also means in letting go of all of that and those things that no longer serve us. So are you ready to do some letting go?
More than.
More than.